Hi everybody, it's Mr. McDonough. I'm at Eagle Lake in Holden, one of my favorite parks. We have a lot of nice places to go outside in Holden. So here's the sign, Eagle Lake, established 1798. That's a long time ago. We are gonna go on the nature trail. It's very short. I'm gonna take you on the nature trail and then we're gonna read some stories, okay? So follow me. So here's Eagle Lake. We're at the beach at Eagle Lake. Look how pretty this is. What a beautiful day for this. So we're gonna go on the Eagle Lake Nature Trail, which has been all fixed up by the Friends of Eagle Lake and the Boy Scouts. Tim Egley got his Eagle Scout badge by making this nature trail so beautiful. So let's go on that walk now. All right, so here we go. There's the path. Let's go. So this was all cleaned up by the Friends of Eagle Lake and by the Boy Scouts. And along the way on this nature path, we're also going to see some signs. You see this sign? These are signs that tell you what animals you can find living in and around Eagle Lake. So let's look at this one. Bald eagle. You can see bald eagles once in a while here. It's very exciting that we have a bald eagle family living somewhere around the lake. Let's keep going. It's not a very hard walk. You can do this with your family. It doesn't take all that long. It gives you plenty of time to stop and look at how beautiful it is. Look through the leaves, you can see the lake. Now we're coming to the next sign. A barred owl. Wow. You can hear owls at night. I've never seen this owl, but I know it's here somewhere. Let's keep going. Oh, I just love this log. Look at this. So this is part of a tree that fell down. This branch fell down a long time ago. And inside, you can look inside. It looks like there's some spider webs. I bet chipmunks live in here too. It's super cool looking. It doesn't even look like a real thing, but it is. It's a piece of a tree. And you see, this tree keeps growing. It's a super big tree. It keeps growing even though it lost a branch. So let's keep going. We're gonna go to my favorite spot to hang out, and that's where we're gonna read a story. So, see how neat this path is? There are people who live in our town who spend a lot of time keeping this park clean. So if you ever come to this park, when you come to this park, make sure you pick up after yourself. And if you see any garbage, pick it up. That's the way we keep things clean. Bullfrog! That's what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna read some stories about frogs. Okay, so let's skip ahead. I'll take you to my favorite spot. Okay, so up here, right by my favorite sign, there's Beaver Joe. That's what we call him. Beaver Joe has built a dam in Eagle Lake, which is keeping the water level high. So we like beavers. They help to create an ecosystem that supports a lot of animals who come to a lake to fish and make their nests and generally hang out. So this is where my favorite path is. It's down towards the water. So we're gonna go off the path, and on this one, make sure you stay on paths when you go to parks, because we don't wanna tread down on native plants around and kill them. So it's good to stay on the path. That way you're protecting all of the flowers and plants. This is a really pretty section. About a month ago, this was all honeysuckles. It smelled so beautiful. Here we go. This is my favorite spot. And part of the reason this is my favorite spot is because right here this now, but in the spring, this is where I see a lot of tadpoles. Ooh, you see out there? That's a great blue heron. It's hard to see. I focus it in. So there are geese. You see birds flying overhead. But let's read a story. So since we're talking about frogs and toads, let's talk about frogs and toads. So what's the difference between a toad and a frog? Well, the thing is that all toads are really frogs. We call toads are the ones that live more out of the water. You'll see toads in your garden. They have bumpier skin, their skin's a little dry, whereas frogs in general are a little moist looking. They look a little slimy. Both frogs and toads lay their eggs in the water. So they all need to be near water to lay their eggs. But then toads can live above ground a little more than frogs. So since we're talking about frogs and toads, let's read some story and sing a song. That's also a story about frogs. Okay, you ready? The Wide-Mouthed Frog, a pop-up book by Keith Faulkner. I'm a wide-mouthed frog and I eat flies, said the wide-mouthed frog, shooting out his long, sticky tongue. As he hopped along, he met a blue feathered bird. I'm a wide-mouthed frog and I eat flies, said the wide-mouthed frog. What do you eat, bird? I eat wriggly worms and slugs, replied the bird, snapping his pointy beak. I don't think birds make a rah-rah-rah sound, but that's just me. Next, the wide-mouthed frog met a furry brown mouse. I'm a wide-mouthed frog and I eat flies, said the wide-mouthed frog. What do you eat, mouse? I eat crunchy seeds and juicy berries, replied the mouse, wriggling her whiskers. The wide-mouthed frog was still catching flies when he saw a big, green alligator. I'm a wide-mouthed frog and I eat flies, said the wide-mouthed frog. What do you eat, alligator? I eat delicious wide-mouthed frogs, replied the alligator, showing his sharp white teeth. Rah, 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 rah. Yikes. The wide-mouthed frog stopped catching flies and gulped. Then he puckered his lips, made his mouth as small as possible. Ooh, you don't see many of them around, do you? He said. And he leapt into the pond with a splash! Splash! One more time. Splash! I love a good pop-up book. That wide-mouthed frog thought he was so smart. There are no alligators here, so don't worry. Okay, so my next book, thinking about frogs, it made me think about a song I used to know as I was a kid. Why am I crooked? I don't know. So it turns out, like with everything, there's a book to go around with it. So it's called A Hole in the Bottom of the Lake. So let's read the book and we can look at the pictures at the same time. So there's a hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. It's illustrated by Loren Long. Are you ready to sing? There's a log on the bottom of the lake. There's a log on the bottom of the lake. There's a log. There's a log. There's a log, log, log. There's a log on the bottom of the lake. There's a hole hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole, hole, hole in the log, log, log. There's a hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a frog in the hole on the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a frog in the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a frog. There's a frog. There's a frog, frog, frog in the hole, hole, hole in the log, log, log. There's a frog in the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. Are you getting it? There's a hair on the frog on the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a hair. There's a hair. There's a hair, hair, hair on the frog, frog, frog in the hole, hole, hole in the log, log, log. There's a hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. What's next? There's a fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a fly on the hair on the frog in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a fly. There's a fly. There's a fly, fly, fly on the hair, hair, hair on the frog, frog, frog in the hole, hole, hole in the log, log, log. There's a fly and the hair on the frog and the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a gnat on the fly, on the hair, on the frog, and the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a gnat on the fly, on the hair, on the frog, and the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a gnat. There's a gnat. There's a gnat, 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 on the fly, 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 on the hair, 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 on the frog, 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 in the hole, 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 in the log, log, log. There's a gnat on the fly, on the hair, on the frog, and a hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. Phew, that's a lot to say. There's a fish on the net, on the fly, on the hair, on the frog, in the hole in the log on the bottom of the lake. There's a fish near the net, on the fly, on the hair, on the frog, and the hole in the log in the bottom of the lake. There's a... Uh-oh. Chomp, snap, gulp. Yikes. Uh-oh. Look what's inside the fish. There's a fish on the bottom of the lake. There's a fish on the bottom of the lake. There's a fish, just a fish. There's a fish on the bottom of the lake. Well, it's kind of a sad story for the gnat and the fly and the hair on the frog and the hole and the log and the bottom of the lake. But it's a good story for the fish. Circle of life. Okay, well that's it for this. So I'm going to take you through the rest of the park, and then I'll see you next week. Bye. Getting closer. Woodchuck. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Do you know? Why don't you ask your friend? Ask your friend, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And she'll say, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And then Mom would scream, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And Brother would say, I don't care. I just want an ice cream. Thank you, friends of Eagle Lake. Thank you, Miss Troop 182 and Tara Prosser for taking all those beautiful pictures. What a nice walk. One more thing I'd like to show you. This is a crazy bug house. Insect house made by the Girl Scouts. The Girl Scouts have been helping Eagle Lake too. Girl Scouts Troop 11706. is they used all of these recycled pieces to make lots of crawly spaces for bugs. I don't see any bugs right now, but you know they're in there somewhere. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of Eagle Lake. Come by and see it. It's right here in Holden. It's beautiful and it's so close. So I'll see you next week. Before we go, we're gonna see a little craft done by one of my favorite people, Sam. Okay, bye.
Alright, hi guys, so I'm Sam. Today we're going to be making little origami frogs, and the best part is that they jump. It's really cool. So first you need a piece of paper. I'm going to do a piece of just like regular white paper, but if you want to make him green or any other color, that'll work too. So to do it, we need to start with a square. So to make the square, I'm going to fold it into a triangle, basically anywhere. So fold just like this. So I'm going to take the corner and flip it up, and then I'm going to cut along these lines so it'll be a square. So that's what I'm going to do right now. It can be as big as you want or as small as you want. Maybe not as small as you want though, that might be really hard to do. And we're going to make our square. And then you unfold it and you have a really perfect square. But actually we don't need the whole thing. So now we're gonna fold it in half like a hot dog. So fold it just like that. And then we'll crease it down really well. Alright. And let's cut this extra piece off. We only need the half. Alright, so now we have our piece. What you need to do first, take one of the corners, it doesn't matter because you're going to do both corners. Take one of the corners on the top and bring it down all the way to meet the edge over here. So this edge is going to meet this edge, and it's going to fold like that into a little triangle. And then you can unfold that and do the same thing with the other side. So take this corner and bring it all the way to the other edge. So let's do that. Perfect. So now you're going to see a little X on the top from the folds. And then we're going to flip it upside down and do the same thing again. So fold one corner down and crease them really well, because it'll fold way better like that. And now you've got two X's on your paper with the folds. So this next part's kind of tricky. You might need a parent to help, but basically you take holds about right there, and you're gonna fold them in, and then you have to press it down like that. You see, it might take a couple tries, it's a little hard. So now you have this triangle and it kind of folds up. So crease it really well. And then the same thing to the other side. So take these edges and fold them in. Alright, now you've got a smaller square. So you're going to hold it like a diamond like this. Put it flat on the table. And then take these flaps, not the whole thing, just this top flap, and fold it up so that this far corner touches up here. So fold it up like this. And then same thing to the other side. Right, so now you've got a little diamond up here, and we're gonna flip it upside down and do it again. So it looks like that. Corners are up. And now we're gonna get to really small folds. So you're gonna take this top corner again and fold it down like this. Not all the way back, just a little bit so it sticks out. So it sticks out like this. So you went from that to this, because these are gonna be his little legs. And now you're gonna do it to this side, so fold it just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not gonna show too much. They're just supposed to, you just want it to stick out a little past this edge so he looks like he has feet. So it looks like this. You did it to all 4 of them. Now we're going to flip it over. You want to hold it like this. Yeah, you want to hold it like this. So it looks like this on the other side. There. And now put it flat and fold this triangle up. So take the bottom and fold it up just kind of to the middle. Just where it looks like the middle. It's also going to be kind of hard to fold past the middle. So just like that. And now take this corner, this edge part, and we're going to fold it all the way so that this edge meets what looks like the middle line. So just like this. Take that and fold it in. And we're going to do it to this side too. There you go, look, he's starting to look like a frog. Alright, so once you have that, they're both folded in. We're going to fold him right on this other side. If you look behind, there's a crease right here. You're gonna fold him right like that, right on that crease. Very easy. So now he's folded in half at the moment, just like that. Get the bottom part, unfold it, get the bottom part, and you want to fold this bottom part up in half. So hold on. Just like that. So you made that crease, now you're gonna make a second crease, take his legs, fold it up. So now there's going to be a crease here and a crease here. And it's kinda gonna like make a fan, right? And now you're done. And you can put him on the table and he'll jump if you press his, press right here. Now he jumps and you can decorate it. I'm gonna add little eyes. You can color him. There you go. There's your frog. Maybe yours is green, maybe yours is a different color. And then they jump. Right? Bye.